What do you think about Ibrahim Trore? And do you think Nigeria needs something like that?
Daddy Freeze. Do you know that as much as we will love what is happening in Burkina Faso, the unfortunate flip side of Nigeria is that our military has become so politicized that they are almost as corrupt as the political class.
They are.
We have had military leaderships in Nigeria. How far? Was it not military that are not June 12? The problem is what is going on with insecurity in Nigeria today. Nigerian military goes to Liberia, Sierra Leone, and they are able to maintain peace. How big is Sambisa Forest? But remember the words of a former minister for defense, General T.Y. Danjuma. He stood on a podium in Wukari in Taraba or Jalingo. He said they collude, the military, they collude. The current National Security Advisor, Oganuhu Ribadu, he went to Plateau when this recent killing happens. He said the arms and equipment that are being used to kill people are weapons that were stolen from government armory. That is, criminals are stealing weapons from government armory using to kill citizens, and the government cannot protect them. What is going on in the military? Have you heard stories of younger soldiers? What of General Abu, the person who led the battalion? You remember the story? So as much as we want to look at, I believe in democracy, and I'm a Democrat. And I believe that Nigerians have the maximum capacity to change their fortunes. For us to fix this nation, we don't need up to 10 million Nigerians. A strong 10,000 people who will occupy the National Assembly and the Presidential Villa, they will get the message. Nobody is as afraid or fearful as Nigerian politicians. So Burkina Faso has a template. It is working for them. Some part of it, do not forget that there can also be PR and propaganda there too, because we are not there. But on the general scale, it seems like they have it good now. Does Nigeria have that kind of figure? Because in case there is a military DC now, the Chief of Army Staff or Chief of Defense Staff is General Christopher Gwabin Musa. Okay. So, or the Chief of Army Staff. Or maybe they make Ibo Gete Bass, who is in Rivers State now, who is appointing somebody from Cross River to head election. Imagine you take over a military regime. Nigeria na wuru wuru. Well, let us fix the system that we know, the democracy that we know. Because if we go flip and enter the one we will not know.
Okay, democracy,
yes, sir,
as a means or mode of governance, how viable is it in Nigeria? Because we're practicing democracy,
yes,
but at the end of the day, from all you described, it doesn't look like we have elections. It looks more like we have selections.
Yes.
So do you think democracy can work in Nigeria? And if your answer is no, what other options do you think we have?
Daddy Freeze, do you know that my answer is an absolute yes? Democracy can work in Nigeria. You know, and I take to that submission of, I think, the former British Prime Minister, Winston Churchill, who said that democracy is the worst system of government until you try every other system of government. To everybody who criticizes democracy, you will appreciate it when you try another one. There is a communist system in China. There are different parts. The problem with Nigeria is democracy has two faces. There is the principle and the practice of democracy. If you follow the principle of democracy in the sense of power coming from the people, holding people accountable, with people having their liberty and justice to chart their own course, beautiful. Nigerians have put democracy in principle on this side, and the democracy in practice have been hijacked by a handful of political elites who have now privatized the profits and socialized losses to Nigerians. So the people who are benefiting in democracy today are politicians. That is why on Democracy Day, June 12th, the only people you will see holding parties in government houses, governor, president, they go there, they open bed, they cut cake. Nigerians who are on the street are asking, where are the dividends of this democracy? So democracy as it is a viable system of government, but it is what we make of it. It is as viable as we are willing and ready to fight for it, because lack of it we do not exist in a vacuum. We are the collateral for any type of democracy that does not function well.
When Al-Qaeda was running riot all over the place, causing problem, and they mistakenly went to hit the World Trade Center in the US, what happened? Osama bin Laden was hunted down by the American CIA and their security force. Is that not true? Since that time till now, have you had anywhere they mentioned Al-Qaeda? They degraded them. They make sure that they don't exist today. Is that not true? Today now, can any terrorist go close to American border, say they want to go and attack America? That means you would have written your will before coming to do such a mission. Today in Nigeria, you and I were here when these people were coming into Nigeria, when they were invited. Yet, nobody was man enough to ask these people, why did you invite terrorists into Nigeria? Is that not act of treason? Please answer me. These people, did they come here on their own? Were they not invited? They even complained that they had an agreement with Nigerians. Mr. Moses, listen very well. That Nigerians who claim to love Nigerians, patriotic politicians, want to sign an agreement with terrorists to come into Nigeria, that the jihad has started. And you are still discussing somebody relocated, somebody not relocate. Who told you they want to solve the problem?
Okay,
these are just small screens.
Barrister, let's get as blunt as we can within caution, in this conversation. Now, during the Buhari regime, Nigerians were meant to understand that, look, that it was because Buhari was in power, in government, and he was unable to rein in his ethnic stock.
Good.
That is why these things persisted. And when the current president, who by the way is a Southwesterner, came into office, Nigerians more like heaved a sigh of relief.
Okay.
Unfortunately and curiously, we don't see these things abate. So do you have any explanation? Does it look like, because during the Buhari regime, we had Northerners, occupy the security architecture of this country. But now, those things have been moved. So do you have a problem with the Chief of Army Staff moving to location, to site, to ensure that these things end?
Mr. Okoro, if a man survives from sickness and his son die, that man is even worse off. If Buhari leaves office and you now have a Muslim ticket, what do you think they were doing? Or were you not aware that a Shetima was imposed on Tinubu as his vice? Are you not aware? Since it's a Muslim ticket, they ask yourself, why is it that it is Benue? Who are the population of Benue? Are they not mostly Christians and Plateau? You are still asking question, Abi? Why are they not concentrated in Buhari's so-called Katsina? Or Kano? Or Sokoto? No, answer that question.
Barrister, do you smell an agenda?
Either you're asking me, you don't know.
No, we don't know. That's
either everybody knows. You don't run away from this. That's the problem with Nigeria. We run away from the truth. And that's why these guys have continued to do what they are doing.
Barrister, that's it.
Yes.
Our job here is to bring information to Nigerians. And
yes,
that's exactly
that
what
information, we have said it over
and
over again.
It's not for us to share our personal opinion.
Okay, fine. I am saying it now. And nobody has disputed it. Because what is going on in Benue is 100 times worse than what happened in River State before Tinubu declared state of emergency.
So you would want
please, my brothers here, what is stopping Tinubu from declaring state of emergency there? After 20 local government out of 23 have been taken over by terrorists, and our farmers are now in IDP camp. Tomorrow you see, ask me, why don't we have food? You know the problem, you don't want to solve it. Every time, this one, is it the first time such a man has relocated to the theater of war? What happened? Please, what happened? It's just a small screen.
Okay, a smoke screen.
Yes, a small screen.